Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we are here at iRacing Superspeedway. Yes, of course, the real-life 2022 NASCAR Cup Series has come to an end, which means iRacing now likes to mess around a little bit with where we're going to be racing on the ovals. For those of you that don't know, iRacing Superspeedway is a 3-mile circuit that is completely flat out and the fastest track on the sim. It makes Talladega and Daytona look pretty calm in comparison, because I think the banking around here is at something mad like 40 degrees. It's basically what would happen. Obviously, Bill France made Daytona, then I reckon he snorted something and decided to make Talladega. This is like if he went on all kinds of things and ended up coming up with this mad location as well there. But yeah, I want to try and get back into a bit more oval racing. You guys enjoyed the race I did a couple of weeks ago out at Talladega. We're back in the trucks though this time, which should be good fun. But yeah, I sort of want to try and make it, maybe a once weekly kind of thing where we jump onto the ovals. Fingers crossed we can have good fun here today though. 25 laps ahead of us. But of course, first of all, we got qualifying. Not that that's going to be particularly exciting. Well, here we go then, ready for a lap around iRacing Superspeedway, and like I said, this place is just absolutely mental. I've got no idea where we're going to qualify for this one. My first lap was certainly not a good representative there, as we'll head down into the banking, but this is what I mean about this track. I mean, it should tell you enough when the trucks without slipstream are able to do well in excess of 200 miles an hour. I imagine top speeds are probably going to be around the 220 mark, which is close to 400 kilometers an hour for those of you that use a much more sensible measuring system. So we'll wait and see as to how this goes tonight. But yeah, through turn 1 and 2, quite nice. Like I said, the banking is so ridiculously steep around this track. It is, of course, easy flat. I think the Cup Series cars in races I've seen around here can get close to 240 miles an hour, which is pretty much, 400 km/h. But up towards the line then, that's going to be a lap here in qualifying. That is going to be a 51 flat, so slightly quicker than Jason, but not particularly great. Right, well, my original plan was just to try and qualify towards the back of the field, but apparently only 5 of us did end up qualifying, so we find ourselves up in P5. Yeah, we've got 25 laps ahead of us, though, like I mentioned. It's basically going to be either we're going to make it through and hopefully we'll finish quite well, or we're going to get wrecked pretty early on, or quite late on, like we did at Talladega. You just don't know in these things. Right, well, heading out of turn 4 then, about to go green here from iRacing Superspeedway. This has got to be the dumbest thing you can do on the sim in an official race that isn't week 13, but let's wait and see then. Trying to see when the number 1 is going to go. Don't think you get a Geico restart zone around this venue, but rev the car up 8,000 RPM as someone immediately going to try and slot down low. And again, we're just going to try and keep it clean early. Well, I mean, we've got to try and keep it clean throughout. So we'll head down in towards turn 1. Yeah, I think first couple of laps are just going to be sort of seeing what it's like, seeing what the speed is like as well around this venue. But we're just going to try and slot in behind the Rowdy Energy car. Don't want to do anything too much early on, so we'll just sit there half throttle down the back straight. I mean, this is just very, very scary. There was already immediately a couple of cars a little bit close for comfort. 250 miles an hour at the final corner. There we are going to post 220 and much higher. Will it go? 225 miles an hour. See, head back down towards someone, almost 230 as we get back over the start-finish line there. That is insanity. Oh my. I mean, yeah, that's... God, surely the Cup cars are doing 250 miles an hour down the straights there. This thing, yeah, it's probably capable, like I said, of like 230 down the straights, as the speed is just crazy. Just to show what these trucks can do. But again, we've got 25 laps ahead of us. Guy in front almost clips the apron. That would not be ideal. Yeah, we've just got to be a bit careful that those top 5 don't break away. I mean, the banking is so aggressive off the corners as well. Really does fire the car around quite a lot. Let's try and go for a bit more of a push. Head over the start-finish line. There is 230 miles an hour. As we head back in towards turn 1, 232. I think we briefly saw there, which has got to be, yeah, about 380 kilometres an hour, but apparently, yeah, the high line not so brilliant, although we do get quite a good run off the corner. Just wait and see. So we are trying to push our way back up towards these top two. So the problem is, of course, because of the banking, the 3-car runs very, very wide. Yeah, because of obviously the banking, it kind of drags you all down to the inside, down the straights, but of course then when you get back round the banking, of course you've got to give the cars on the inside a bit of room to manoeuvre as well. No idea whether there was someone on my inside. I don't think there was, no, which would have been alright. I sort of had that moment of doubt at the last second, so it's not going to do anything stupid too early on in the race. There's no one really working together on the high side. There we go. Rowdy Energy car number 1 ducks up and then ducks back in. The draft a bit behind. We've got another car on our inside, but we'll try and carry the speed into the next corner. People like to believe Cup or NASCAR stock car racing is easy, but it absolutely is not. That level of precision can be absolutely crazy. So yeah, we've just got to really try and concentrate at the moment. Shuts up really wide through the banking though. We're 5 laps in of 25. It almost makes you feel dizzy going around here. Still got a car on our inside. Ooh, number 10 slots in now. I've got no one to work with on the high side. I'm probably just going to try and tuck back in. I don't think we're going to get a chance just yet. And it doesn't really matter losing places early on. It's all about where you are with 2 laps to go. Ooh, it's a little bit sketchy. Back in. I mean, these things are around this track is just insane. Imagine if this place was real. So you got to think about sort of someone gets pushed out very, very wide through turn 3. Ooh, careful, careful, careful. Car just bouncing around a little bit. It's the 14 going to slot back in. Sketchy. This is so sketchy. It's good fun, but it is really sketchy. And I mean, when there is inevitably a wreck, it's, yeah, I mean, you don't really get a crash around here that isn't a big one. 14. Just really trying to learn how to hold it right on the apron. You're in the toe. Of course, it is going to be important late on in the day when people are really trying to squeeze each other. Yeah. The inside of the 10. Just to see if he can scare me, but not this time. Again, just no sort of air pushing the front end of the truck down. I do like these trucks though, they are very, very good fun to race with. I mean, yeah, I do want to get back into a bit more NASCAR next season, of course. Whoa! Do not want to hit the apron, I apologise. Yeah, obviously, around some of the Cup Series last year, I actually watched Phoenix as well last weekend. I mean, I'm not the biggest Joey Logano fan in the world, but he certainly had the stock car to beat on the day, didn't he? Nothing anyone really ever... I think Chase Elliott was ahead of him for 1 lap before he kind of wrecked himself, to be honest. But yeah, Logano pretty much had it in the books all day long there, and now a 2-time Cup Series champion. I don't know if Logano's still as heated as he used to be in NASCAR, to be honest. I know a couple of years ago he certainly didn't have many friends in the other cars, but maybe he does a little bit more now. So we've got quite a big run actually heading down the straight. May as well try and work with it. So obviously now we get into the corner, we're just going to be hung out a bit more once again, as there's a bit of a gap forming actually behind this front group. So yeah, we've got a second actually from P9 by the looks of it, so that could be really helpful in this race if it bunches up into two groups. It doesn't look like they're falling away anymore, so maybe it's not over just yet, as well, we have got one car going slow. Just tuck back in, we'll sit at the back of this front group there, as yeah, they are back within the 1 second zone, so they should be good. Now I've got one truck, no idea what's happened, but whoa, don't want to do that again. Come on, Matt, concentrate. You cannot be making that mistake through the corners. So it might just be left a little bit out in the cold, but we should, yeah, we're still definitely tucked up in the slipstream. Should be able to get a bit closer there, as yeah, no idea what's happened to that guy, as now we have kind of connected these two trains back together. Turn 1 and 2 are definitely less aggressive than 3 and 4. And look at the speed this time round. The run we're able to get. I still just can't go with the fact these things are doing well in excess of 230 miles an hour in the tow. Yeah, so you just got to turn a little bit early into the corner if you want to try and keep it pinned. There we go. Slot back in once more. So we're almost halfway there already. Nothing major's happened just yet. But it'll all kick off with a few laps to go. So just sort of testing what we can do down the straights. What sort of a run can you get? Because yeah, you've definitely got to turn in a bit smoother into one. But yeah, it's just sort of learning the characteristics as well, of course. Kyle Busch livery car there, of course, leaving Joe Gibbs Racing at the end of the year, or a lot of Constantina and up all of a sudden. We're in the right place at the right time that time round. Just see cars a bit further back. 2-3 wide. So we'll just slot back in again for now. M&M's car, just, or trucky, I know I keep calling it a car, I apologise, it's a truck. But trying to talk about these things at 230 miles an hour is quite difficult, believe it or not. A couple of us now trying to use the high side once again. 17 there, a little bit sketchy, wants to desperately slot back in for whatever reason, so I fire it way too far into the corner. We are going to be 3-1, I'm going to back out of that one. Just going to run the truck up wide. Go. Give this guy the room as well. Lost a couple of places in that, but still 12 laps to go. Plenty can happen. Oh, this guy looks a bit sketchy. 21 car is a bit all over the road. Cars are fanning out a bit more. I mean, leaders have got no choice, they have to stay on the bottom, but the rest of us, we've got to try and find sunning. This is number 13 now, like the livery on that thing. Oh! The 10 car fires it off into turn 1. I think we've got to start making moves though. Muscle our way. Oh, no we're not. No we're not. No we're not. Big lift there. Let's try and get out of it. Gonna See a lot of checking up now. Forza 21 will give me the room, but he absolutely had no intention of doing so in the end. Mate. Really? Just came across me. Car's leaking fluid. We've definitely picked up damage. What was I meant to do there? Trying to go for a gap that was never there. I'm going to have to box, but I've got no idea. Got to let the pace car by apparently, but yeah, I've got no idea how much damage we've picked up. Car's smoking. That might be the dream dead. Don't think, yeah, you don't get fast repairs, of course. Got past the 9 car as well. That was so frustrating. It was the wrong place at the wrong time. Just got boxed in. Just got to try and pass more and more cars. That's the pace car. Stay behind the 13. Yeah, we're going to have to pit though. See how much damage there is. I mean, the car might be toast. Come on, 10. Pit road's open. Why isn't the 10 going by? Yeah, let's just get back to the pits and see what the damage is like, I suppose. Got a lot of cars, trucks into the pit lane. Shall we just get this thing slowed down? Leaving in 4th gear, of course, just easier to modulate the speed. But yeah, I feel like this is probably going to be a lot of damage, a lot of repairs, so we're going to have to try and get as much of it sorted out as possible. It's the 8 there just in front of us. There we go. Let's have a look what they're saying. Ooh. Just overfired it a bit too much. 49 seconds are required, 4 minutes of optionals. We'll take as many of them as we can before we head back out. Right, well, we're about 30 miles an hour down. Unfortunately, the pace car's coming in as well, and we're still trying to catch up to the rest of the field there. You can see on the relative, about 20 seconds back still, but of course as soon as they go green flag racing, they're probably all going to be quicker than me once again, so this is not looking good for us at the moment. But I mean, if there's more wrecks, and hopefully, there we go, someone reckons they're going to Ross Chastain turn 2 and turn 3, but yeah, hopefully we can try and at least catch up. But yeah, really now it's just a case of hoping that more cars, there's another big incident, and then we can try and pick up some places. There we go, green flag racing once again. Of course, we're going to probably be about 5-6 seconds back, but of course then you've got to remember, in the slipstream, they're going to end up going, what, 50 miles an hour faster around here, so it's not looking great for us at the moment. You can see, yeah, 9 seconds back. They're all waving off into the distance back down at turn 1, but still 7 laps to go. Let's just see if there's another big one. Oh, poo. They've all shown up, my relative behind me again, so now basically what we're praying is that within the next 2 laps there's another wreck before we get lapped. 5 to go here from iRacing Superspeedway. It's not looking good. Come on, 5 seconds. We're basically praying for a wreck down at turn 1. I mean, we're just going to move out of the way when they do get up to me, but I mean, it's going to be pretty scary. You can already just see. Yes! Yes! That's exactly what we needed. Now I'll think, well, we've just got to pray for is that a lot of cars got involved in that, but it's given us a lifeline once again. You love to see it. And of course it means we can repair the truck a little bit as well. As you can see, they're still gaining on me, even when they're under caution. Right, well, safety car's going to be coming in then at the end of this lap. We've tried to take a bit more of the damage off, but it's still looking like 183 miles an hour is going to be our limit, but at least we're going to be with the rest of the field for this restart. I mean, it's the last green and white checkered attempt, so if there is another big wreck, then hopefully we're going to get a few more freebies, but yeah, we'll wait and see as to what happens. I mean, we're not really racing anyone, we just want to try and see what happens, but yeah, we'll give it our best shot nonetheless. I mean, if there's another wreck, then brilliant for us. What we really need, to be honest, is the penultimate lap to be fairly calm, a huge wreck that takes out pretty much everyone at the start of the last lap, and then we can come through for an easy win, I suppose, is probably the likely thing that will occur here. But I think we only need 2 more spots, and we'll have gained iRacing here today as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we do off the restart. We're going to be going backwards anyway, so we may as well just wait and see. But 2 more laps then here from iRacing Superspeedway. And you can see immediately when we go on the upshift, yeah, we're not going anywhere in comparison to pretty much anyone else there. I think Brady might be the only one we can actually have a battle with late on in the day. As I mean, already 3 wide back into turn 1. So there is every possibility that there is going to be another caution before the end of this one. As you can see, actually hanging on to a tiny bit of slipstream, giving us a bit more top-end speed, but that's pretty much all we're going to be able to get from it. Could we still top out 200 miles an hour in a completely wrecked truck? It's looking like it might just be possible. Is this race going to end under a green flag there? It's looking very, very feisty. Someone down on the apron through turn 3. Just get to the start-finish line, lads. Then you can wreck. And hopefully I can pick up the spoils and try to gain some I-rating from this race. There, you can see it is going to be the last lap then. Oh, there's a big wreck though. I think that... There we go, it is white flag though, so whoever's been wrecked, it's not good news. It's just 2 cars, so I think we should gain I-rating here. As there's more cars wrecking through turn 1. This is, I mean, only in NASCAR could you get finishes like this there. As, I mean, could we see some more wrecked cars? Could we gain some more places because of this? We can see a couple of cars losing time on the relative. There's cars just strewn all over the venue here. We've cut it very, very tight with the fuel, actually. I kind of forgot about that. We're going to gain I-rating, though. Another car off as we head down in towards turn 3. I mean, there's another one going slowly. Could we get primo by the end of the lap? We could end up somehow with a drag race to the line. There was a big puff of smoke coming out the back of that truck. There we go, around the outside. We might even... Have we finished in the top 10? It's going to be very, very close to a top 10 finish here at iRacing Speedway. But that's why you don't give up here in the trucks up towards the line. I think it's going to be P11 in the end there, which from 5th place doesn't look particularly great, but when you consider we've got an absolutely wrecked truck, we will absolutely take that. A fine shithouse plus 24 I rating in the end. We do walk away with a reward from that, and hopefully some SR as well. Let's go have a look at the final race results, but yeah, that's just the lesson. In the trucks, you just don't give up. And there we go then, having a look at the final results here from iRacing Superspeedway. Only 0.01 SR gained from the 4X there, but 23 I rating as well pushes us closer to 1600. But 15 seconds away from the winner, it was Grant that took home the dub, just 54 hundredths of a second ahead of Joe. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well. And yeah, like I said, maybe we'll jump in with more of the truck series and sort of more oval racing as well. But yeah, that's going to do us for this one though, and we'll be back very, very soon with more sim racing content.